good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, and welcome to Jumpstart with Javon, where we are reading personal development books aloud so that you, my friend, can jumpstart your day. Today, we are reading more from How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. If you don't have this book already, go ahead and grab this book and add it to your libraries. Please know that you can grab all your books from the Amazon link in the description of this channel of things that books that I personally suggest that you read. These are personal development books, these are leadership books, these are marketing books. Go ahead and check out that link. Okay, so we're going to dive more into this book, and you got to know how successful people think. And one of the ways that they think, they employ realistic thinking. So, without further ado, let's jump into this beautiful quote that I really love by a man named Max Dupree. And he says, "The first responsibility of a leader is to define reality." As anyone knows who's been out of school for a few years, there's usually a huge gap between a college education and the reality of working in the real world. Honestly, earlier in my career, I went out of my way to avoid too much realistic thinking because I thought it would interfere with my creative thinking. But as I've grown, I've come to realize that realistic thinking adds to my life. Reality is the difference between what we wish for and what it is. What it is, though. It took some time for me to evolve into a realistic thinker. The process went in phases. First, I did not engage in realistic thinking at all. After a while, I realized that it was necessary, so I began to engage in it occasionally. But I didn't like it because I thought it was too negative. And anytime I could delegate it, I did. Eventually, I found that I had to engage in realistic thinking if I was going to solve problems and learn from my mistakes. Okay? And anytime I became willing to think realistically before I got in trouble, and it made a continual part and make it a continual part of my life. Today, I encourage my key leaders to think realistically. If you're listening to me right now, you are a leader. And I'm going to encourage you, just like John Maxwell would, to think realistically. We make realistic thinking the foundation of our business because we derive certainty and security from it. Why should you recognize the importance of realistic thinking? Well, here's why. If you're naturally an optimistic person, as I am, you may not possess great desire to become a more realistic thinker. By cultivating the ability to be realistic in your thinking will not undermine your faith in people, nor will it lessen your ability to seize and see opportunities. Instead, it will add value to you in other ways. Number one, realistic thinking minimizes downside risk. Actions always have consequences. Realistic thinking helps you to determine what those consequences could be. And that's crucial because only by recognizing and considering consequences you can plan for them. Don't wait to react, be proactive. If you plan for the worst case scenario, you can minimize the downside risk. Number two, realistic thinking gives you a target and game plan. I've known business people who were not realistic thinkers, and here's the good news. They were very positive and had a high degree of hope for their business. But here's the bad news. Hope is not a strategy, okay? Realistic thinking leads to excellence in leadership and management because it requires people to face reality. They begin to define their target and develop a game plan to hit it. And when people engage in realistic thinking, they also begin to simplify practices and procedures, which results in better efficiency. Okay? Number three, realistic thinking is a catalyst for change. People who rely on hope for their success rarely make change a high priority. If you only have hope, You imply that achievement and success are out of your hands. It's a matter of luck or chance. Why bother changing? Realistic thinking can dispel that kind of a wrong attitude. There's nothing like staring reality in the face to make a person recognize the need for change. Change alone does not bring growth, but you cannot have growth without change. Okay? Number four, realistic thinking provides security. Anytime you have thought the worst, anytime you have thought through the worst that can happen and you have developed a contingency plan to meet it, you become more confident and secure. It's reassuring to know that you are unlikely to be surprised. And this type of thinking you must incorporate in your everyday life. You got it in your marriage, and raising your children, on the job, in your inner circles, in your social groups. Like, this is very important to employ realistic thinking. Disappointment is the difference between expectation and realities. Realistic thinking minimizes the difference between the two. Here's the I will never set myself up to be disappointed. It's because I employ realistic thinking. Okay, nobody can disappoint me. That's one feeling. I was just talking to my honey bunches the other day. This is one feeling that I know I could avoid experiencing, because you know what? I think realistically. Okay, I'm not going to put more expectations on a human being than I ought to. Okay. Okay, alrighty. Number five, realistic thinking gives you credibility. Realistic thinking helps people to buy into the leader or his or her vision. Leaders continually surprised by the unexpected soon lose credibility with their followers. Okay, you always shocked that something is going wrong. And if I'm under you, yes, I'm looking at you sideways, okay? On the other hand, leaders who think realistically and plan accordingly positions their organizations to win. That gives their people the confidence in them because they're thinking realistically and they are planning and they are proactive. The best leaders ask realistic questions before casting a vision. They might ask themselves something like, is this possible? Does this dream include everybody, or is it just a few people? And have I identified and articulated the areas that will make this dream difficult to achieve? Number six, realistic thinking provides a foundation to build on. Thomas Edison observed, the value of a good idea is in using it. Okay, I just want to stop there. You know, we could go on and on, but I just want to stop there. The value of a good idea is in using it. The bottom line on realistic thinking is that it helps us to make an idea usable by taking away the wish factor. Most ideas and efforts don't accomplish their intended results because they rely too much on what we wish rather than what is. You can't build a house in midair. It needs a solid foundation, and ideas and plans are the same. They need something concrete on which to build. Realistic thinking provides that solid foundation. Okay, there's more in here, but you know what? That's all I got for you, because you are going to go get this book, How Successful People Think, because I want you, my friend, to think like the successful people think. Okay, by John Maxwell. This book is great. He is a great leadership development just guru, and I've learned so much from not only this man, but the people that follow up under him, because great leaders replicate themselves. Ha! If you are around leadership and they do not duplicate and replicate themselves, then you, my friend, have identified somebody who is not a good leader. Okay, oh God, I could go. I want to get on my soapbox and say hi, Abby. Don't be telling me what to do early in the morning. But hey, girl, how you doing? Alrighty, y'all. Let me get off my soapbox about this, because as you can see, did you see the passion come up under, the fire is lit up under me. But anyway, if you are interested in hearing personal development books read aloud, come back and hang out with me whenever you get a chance in the mornings. That's where I'll be. All right, until next time, my friend, y'all throw those X's up. I am out, and y'all have a flippin' phenomenal day.